I've got to be careful of what I say in this video. But Kissinger said, control the currency of a nation and you control the nation. And I think that's what they're up to now. That's their end goal. I was at the dentist the other day, and as usual I was going on about the current situation we have with lack of freedoms, and the dentist, she said that she didn't really agree with me because she mentioned a friend who died of this situation. To get a proper understanding of what you just said, we've got to compare that to hundreds of people who are being killed every week in crashes on the roads in the UK. But we don't shut down the roads. We don't ban cars. We don't all stay indoors thinking if we go out we might get killed on the road today. We carry on living. And yet this woman's saying, because one friend has died of this so-called illness, because we don't know for sure, as they manipulate the figures, we should destroy the economy. And just a reminder, if you like my videos, please give me a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button. Thank you. And you're talking about a few people. Because if there was so many dying, believe you me, it would be front page news. You would see pictures of bulldozers pushing all these dead bodies into mass graves. Now, if someone dies of cancer or some other illness, they've got to be tested before they die. And if they're tested positive, they have to write down that they died of that particular thing, not of the cancer or some other illness. This manipulates the numbers. Hopefully, because you're watching this, you're not one of the lambs who just follow the leader. You're not one of the masses. No, they're hoping to bring in a digital currency which belongs to the government, and to force people to use the government's digital money. They will probably mandate a law that companies will only be able to pay into that particular account, the government account. So if you wanted your payment, your payday, you have to go to the government to get it. Digital wallet, so to speak. Currently, we have what they call fiat money, which means there's nothing backing the money. It's just paper they print out. Before, it used to be gold, precious metals, but not anymore. Not for a long time. And that's called fiat money. These are terrible times. They're bringing out laws to stop peaceful protest, because they know there will be people like me protesting. They want people in the future to spend money. It's called the velocity of money. You see, if you spend money and not just put it under the bed or something, like my mother did, and her boyfriend as well used to do it, and a few other people I met who keep their money at home. If you spend money, it creates a velocity, what they call a velocity. So you buy something from someone and they get your money. And then they use that money to buy something. And again, it moves to the next person. But every time it goes from one person to another, it gets taxed. So that's what they're after, taxing the money every step of the way. You know, they talk about the amount of money which they pay to people on the social security and the pensioners like myself. But they don't mention that most of that money they get back in taxes. If you look at people today when they're working, and if you include not just the the income tax, but all the other taxes and the VAT as well, you'll find that something like 85 or 80, maybe 90% of their money is taxed. So out of £100, they actually get £10, the rest goes to the government. Shocking, really. Oh, it's the same as usual. The poor always get the end of the stick, you know, the rough end of the stick. They don't want people to save. And if eventually all the other banks shut down and you only got that one digital bank, the government bank, which will happen, believe you me, that's where it's heading. That's the whole purpose of this fear tactic. The situation is dire, but I forgot there is other currencies and you should invest in them now, such as Bitcoin and Dogecoin. In the next few years, as the physical money is taken off the counter, so to speak, these two currencies I've just mentioned will go for the roof. So you will make a fortune from them, especially Dogecoin. You know, you've got nothing to lose because, just think about it. If you invest, let's say, a couple of £100 in Dogecoin and maybe another couple of hundred in Bitcoin, if it goes up, like I say, you stand to make hundreds of thousands, maybe 1 million, maybe even more. But if you don't do it, and then you've lost that money, what you could have made. And it's interesting to think that that only 1%, I think, of the people in the world invest in these sort of coins, Bitcoin, Dogecoin, etc. But it's as these coins have made people millionaires. So they do work. In fact, I would have been worth 17 million by now, but unfortunately I lost the paper wallet. Typical. I was moving about so much, it all got lost. But I'm not the only person who's lost. Many people you'll find fell in the same trap and lost their money. Easy come, easy go, they say. Years ago in the 60s, the government in the UK couldn't demand to see your bank account, to see how much you had in there. You could tell them to get lost. They had no power at all. No, slowly, over the years, they've been taking more and more power as we've become their slaves, so to speak. And also in the 70s, a friend of mine was telling me he had a business, and the money that was invested in the bank, I think he said he was getting 27% back. Can you imagine? And of course, over the years, it diminished the percentage you get back until now you don't get anything back. But there again, when you think about it, we're the only country, as far as I know, who gets a percentage on the money which was in the bank. Normally, throughout the world, including banks in Europe, you have to pay every year to keep your money in the bank. And that's what's going to happen here in this country. You're going to have to pay. Of course, those payments will start low and go up over the years. As the song says, money makes the world go round. As the government gains more and more power over your money, in the future, if they feel you saved too much money, they will just take some of that money, as much as they want basically, and give it to someone else who hasn't got so much money. And you won't be able to do anything about it because you can't protest anymore. It's against the law. And that's what full control is all about. So if you feel like screaming now, this is the time to do it.